Hello and welcome to the Will to Live with Crochet SA. If it's your first time here, welcome and I hope you stick around. So today I went to the first ever store that I bought crochet supplies from, which was actually PNA. And about 5 years ago when I wandered in just looking for something to play around with to see if I can actually get the hang of it, the selection was incredibly small. And when I went back today after about I think 3 years since I found my local yarn store that I've been rather going to, I was surprised, quite severely surprised actually, because when I used to go to PNA, all that was available was charity. Maybe a little bit of Al Pulsgain, but really majoritarily charity. And what I saw today was quite incredible. I was really surprised that there was not only a bigger selection of charity, there was also more South African brands. There was the Al Pulsgain, there was the Al Crew Tweed, but there was also a lot of yarn art. I think there was also some Turkish brands. It was really so much more extensive than it had been before, and what I thought would be a quick 5-minute step in, step out became a shopping trip, which it shouldn't have been. I mean, I clearly have enough, but things happen and there's always a need, you know, there's never too much. But anyway, I'm going to take you through a little bit of what I found. I tried to get a little bit of everything, but I'm sure, as you know, the prices that PNA sells their stuff for is quite a bit inflated compared to what you would get it for in a yarn shop specifically. So I got what I could without breaking the bank, and I'm gonna take you through that. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I got was obviously charity, because you can't go to PNA and not get charity, because that's, like I said, the majority of what they have. And I didn't really need much more charity. I didn't really need to see how it works because I've used so much of it in the past. But I did need this color. I did need the wheat because I am using it in a project and I had run out and I needed some more, so I got some of this. Next up, we got something that I've actually never really seen before. So this is Habba Respect, and it is a recycled yarn. So I believe it is some percentage of acrylic and the remainder polyester. Yeah, and this is the first recycled yarn that I'm ever gonna try, so we'll see how this works out. I think that this is gonna work out quite well, as it has a very similar texture to cotton actually, so I think that anything that you would use cotton for, this could be a good substitute. At PNA, I can't really see because the label's so faded. Oh, I think it's about 37 Rand that it's selling for at PNA. But yeah, that's that. What is it? Okay, it's 100 grams. It's 37 Rand for 100 grams. And this is just, I believe, color 104. It doesn't really have names to it. But it does come in like more muted colors. It almost looks a little dusty, like this sort of dusty yellow, and it's got a gray and a green and that kind of thing. Next up, we have the Kartopu Snowball Premium. So this is a Turkish yarn. It's 100% acrylic, and this is 100 gram skein, and this is selling for 43.99. Yeah, this is also something that I've used before, but I think it's gonna work quite well to make some of my Mandela Day beanies, and I think I'm gonna use this for that. Next up, we have Coffee Cotton, and now quite a few of my viewers on Instagram have actually told me about Coffee Cotton. It's 60% cotton, 40% acrylic. Yeah, and I'm interested to try this. It was 65 Rand basically for the skein. I'm just trying to see. I think it was 100 grams. I don't see it on. Oh, there it is. 100 grams, yes. for this, and I think it'll work quite well to make my cup cozies or my cup holders, maybe even some market bags. So yeah, I'm going to just maybe add onto the video what I make with these. So yeah, coffee cotton. I believe this is a South African brand. Let me know if you know. Next up, we have something of a South African fan favorite. It is the L Pool Skein. This is a color that I got just because I wanted to add it to some other yarn that I'm going to be showing you later on in this video. Just to sort of, I don't know, I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do with it yet, but I have an idea, and I think that this would complement the colors that I got quite well. But yeah, this is about 48 Rand for 100 gram skein, also 100% acrylic. But I believe that these acrylics, I don't know what it is about it, but it just feels a lot softer than Charity. I'm not sure what's going on with Charity and why it feels so hard and rough against my hands, but this definitely feels a lot softer. Next up, I have the Elise Veluto, and this is a sort of chenille yarn. It's like chenille velvety, sort of. And I think that this is going to be beautiful for scrunchies. So yeah, I think I'm going to make some of that to test out the yarn and see how that goes. But yeah, it's really, really pretty. And this is 100 gram skein for 82.99. So 83 Rand for 100 grams. It's a bit pricey, I'm not gonna lie, but then again, if you get it at a local yarn store, it's gonna be a bit cheaper. So I have seen these and I have been wanting to try them. They're the El Karoo Tweed double knit. They feel amazing because it's not just acrylic, it is 87% acrylic, 10% superwash wool and 3% viscose. And I got them in the 4 colors that were available at the shop, which was sand, natural, fossil, and hoodia. So that's the 4 colors that I have here. And this is what I, wanted to pair the L Pool Skein with. I think it would complement them all quite well. Don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I guess we can figure it out. This was 54 Rand for 100 grams. I do love the colors. I love the speckling on it. I do like that one of the colorways is called Millie. Honestly, that is what drew me to the brand. I just love quirky South African based names like that just you wouldn't find on any other yarn. But unfortunately, they didn't have the Millie in stock, so I got what they did have. Next up, we have Yarn Art Baby, and I must say that this was a little bit of an influence buy because I have seen a lot of people use yarn art internationally, and I just wanted to see what the hype was about, so I got a bit of yarn art yarn just to, you know, test it out. But this is 50 Rand for 20 grams. No, 100 grams. No. What? Where's the grams? I seriously read that as 20 grams and 100 grams. The 9 just looked like grams. Where is it? Let me see here. Guys, am I turning this thing around and around and just not seeing it? Like, is anyone else seeing it? Okay, you know what, let me get the scale. Let me get the scale so I'll know. Okay, so I got the scale. Let's just see. Okay, 0. Okay, so it's about 50 grams. So 50 bucks for 50 grams. That's 1 Rand per gram, guys. Quite expensive, but yeah. Let's hope it is as pretty as it looks. Again, I'm loving the speckling. This is another Turkish yarn, and yeah, I'm interested to see what it's all about. Lastly, again, we have a yarn art yarn. This is the yarn art begonia, and I got it in the sort of plum purple, this apple green, and the sort of lilac lavender color. and it is super fine. It is proper sock weight or fingering weight, and it is I believe 100% mercerized cotton. These were 50 gram skeins for about 50 rand, I think it was, either 50 or 41. Let me see if any of these have the price still on them. Can't really see. There, let's try this one. It's super light, but it is about 51 rand. You can't really see it, but I think it was about 51 rand. So what I plan on doing is pulling one strand of each of the colors together to make what, I don't know, but I guess you and I are figuring this out together. So the PNA that I visited was the one in Castlegate Mall, which is a relatively bigger PNA. And yeah, it definitely has a much bigger selection of yarn than I remember PNA having about 5 years ago. And I think it's quite nice that it gives us something similar to the Michaels, Walmart, what used to be Joanne experience that American content creators have, and that you always, so if you watch the same content as me, then you see a lot of people talking about those kinds of places, which aren't as readily available to us. I think in our mainstream stores we don't have that kind of access to yarn and knitting and crocheting notions and accessories and tools. So yeah, it was actually quite a good experience. And yeah, it would be nice to see that if the fiber arts industry continues to grow, if there are more and more knitters, crocheters, felters, tufters that start to pop up, that maybe these stores will grow. Maybe we'll start finding yarn in, I know Value Co keeps yarn actually, so maybe we'll start seeing yarn in more and more accessible places. Not to discredit any of the actual yarn stores, Wool Warehouse is still my day one, they're still my go-to, but that's just because of the personal relationship that you have with these stores, and that's something that you just develop over time and something that you're only going to get in these stores. It also gives you a much cheaper option to buy yarn, but this, however, for the sake of accessibility, is quite nice to have, I must say. And please do let me know in the comments if you have a better idea of what to do with the Yarn Art Begonia, the Have a Respect recycled yarn, and any of the others. If you don't think that the ideas I have is doing it justice, just let me know in the comments, and maybe in the next one you'll see your ideas come to life. Thanks for staying, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things to help a girl out, and I'll see you in the next one.